Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new on my channel, my name is Stella. I'm an education, lifestyle and mom YouTuber based in the United States. I'm a PhD student in the United States of America. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button. Do me that favor. It is a red button which is down there below, and if you want to get notified whenever I make a new video, you can click the bell which is right next to the subscribe button, and so whenever a new video pops up on my channel, you get notified. This is totally free. Thank you so much guys for the engagement so far on the series, on all the videos that I have been making, and I believe that it is really helpful. So in today's video, I want to quickly address a question that I kept on getting from people, and I was supposed to do some other video, but I decided to do this video now to be able to give a general response to that question, and it is about scholarships. People have been asking, okay, if I get this admission, does it mean how do I get scholarships? Now, for some countries, you can get scholarship that comes with the offer of admission. It's like a package. While for some other countries, you may not necessarily get a scholarship or a funding with your admission, but you can now apply for external funding. So we're going to just kind of, will I say, explain based on country for a better understanding. And by the way, this is based on my own understanding and my own experience, and I believe that I am very right, and I know a little to be able to kind of teach you guys. I know stuff, that's what I mean. So let us start with the United Kingdom. If you're going to study in the UK, you may not necessarily get a scholarship or a funding when you get the admission. There are just a few schools in the UK that usually give you both offer of admission and full funding. I know that it is full funding you people are looking for. So it is only a few schools, and those are like the top rated universities, and it also depends on the program you're going for. So generally in the UK, if you're applying for a master's degree or a PhD in the UK, then you should be making plans about applying for external scholarships like Commonwealth Scholarship, PTDF, NITDA, Chevening Scholarship, name them. Both some of these scholarships are mentioned in their Nigerian-based scholarships, while some of them are continent-based scholarship, and some of them are based on Commonwealth countries and all whatnot. So you should be ready to start looking for external funding if you know that you don't have money to fund yourself. If you're applying to study in the UK, it is doable. It is very possible. So it's just about you doing your research and getting to know. Then also in the UK, there are some scholarships that are usually given by the university, but it is not automatic. Like, you don't get the scholarship just by virtue of getting an offer of admission. You have to now look out for those scholarships on the university website and then apply for them separately. While there are some scholarships in the UK that automatically you are qualified to get into the entry. Like, entry means you're getting into the application pool for that scholarship. By virtue of you applying for admission to the school and getting an offer, they will simply include you in that pool. And if you're fortunate, you will get it. If you're not, then you're going to have only the offer of admission. These are the kind of opportunities you get for when it comes to funding or scholarship in the UK. Of course, there might be others that I don't know about. So you guys that are watching, if you know there are other kind of opportunities when it comes to scholarship or funding to study in the UK, please leave it down there in the comment section. Someone or some persons are reading and they will learn from it. Then coming to the US and Canada, most universities in the United States will give you offer of admission that comes with funding, especially graduate schools for masters and PhD, and most especially for PhD. Most universities in the US will give you offer of admission for PhD, and when the admission comes, it mostly comes with full funding. I will probably make a different video about what full funding means, but yeah, it comes with a full funding. So what happens is you don't have to apply for scholarship separately. You simply apply for admission if you're qualified to apply. You have the requirements. Put in your application. When your offer of admission comes, it comes along with your scholarship or your full funding. So this is why most of the times I'm like, if you don't have money, please start thinking about applying to the US. If you don't want to go to the stress of applying for external funding, if you're not, maybe you're doing a program that doesn't have too much external funding, why don't you look at the US? In the US, you have a lot of universities. I am not selling United States to you. I am not from the United States of America. I'm just telling you based on what I know and what I feel. So, but of course, if you want to go to the UK, why not? So you you get to apply to these schools in the US, and then when the admission comes, it comes with funding. But this is not general. There are some courses I've heard that don't come with full funding. So what you need to do is, like I mentioned in my previous videos on how to get universities, part of the information you can get from your graduate school coordinator, that is that email address that you see there under the list of requirements, is, please, do you people have funding? What kind of funding do you have? So you can ask all those kind of questions, and then you get to know if the university you're applying to has funding or does not have funding. Sometimes it is boldly written on their website. Other times you may not be able to find it, or it may not be very explicit, but you can ask them and they will tell you. So that's kind of funding you have in the US. Of course, even while you are studying here, you have access to getting external scholarships, depending on the kind of external funding though. You can get external funding to be able to also support you while you're studying. But the full scholarship that has to do with your tuition and every other thing comes from the university. Do you see why it's very competitive? Okay. Then Canada also is very similar to the United States, because most of the universities also have funding to give to you as soon as you get your admission. That's what happens in Canada. But I have realized that Canada does not necessarily have as much funding as the United States has. But that is not to say that there is no funding. Most of my friends in Canada are on full funding. So the same thing you do in the US to in Canada. When you're applying to Canadian schools, send an email to the grad school coordinator if you're not able to explore the website, and ask if they have funding. And if they do, voila, congratulations to you. So yeah, that's all I thought to share with you guys. Of course, this applies to other countries, Australia, New Zealand. Just ask questions, basically. Ask questions and you will get all the information that you need. The earlier, the better. The earlier, the better. The earlier, you see, this process is very, very rigorous. There's a whole lot to do. So the earlier you start getting this information, the better. And don't forget, always put things down. Whatever information you get, always put it down and match it to the particular university you got that information from. I hope this video has been very helpful, and if you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share my video. A lot of people need this information and they are looking for it. Share it so that it will reach a wider audience. Please drop me your comments if you have like other things that I may not have mentioned when it comes to this topic that you think I should mention. Please drop it in the comment section for me. If you have questions, why not drop your questions and I'll be there to give you your answers. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. Till I come your way next time, I remain your girl Stella. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.